How you'll be able to tell who the millennials are in our audience. We have incredibly talented people who work here backstage, but they're all younger than me.
And me.
Well, most people are younger than me. I remember these trees.
Of course.
And what I remember most starkly is the one that we had just simply disappeared. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know, I can't remember what year it went missing or was broken. I just remember missing it. And so many of us who grew up in the 60s, or you in the 80s.
Hardly, 70s.
Okay? Remember these trees, but you couldn't find them. Most of them were made in ceramics classes by Mom.
Right.
But the lights were hot as blazes. You couldn't touch them.
You couldn't put them anywhere.
Leslie Hermanson and the company that she represents, Mr. Christmas, knows that there were so many of us that remember these, and they remanufactured. They retooled to make the original molds again. These are the newer lights. It's actually lit from within, so they're cool to the touch. And you know what? A whole new generation will now have the joy of this little guy sitting on the countertop with one difference. There is no cord. They are battery operated. They'll go anyway. Leslie, welcome back.
Dan, great to see you.
Mwah.
This is exactly how this piece came to be,
Yeah.
because my mother said to us she had it growing up and she wanted it again, and so we went out to recreate for my mom that memory, to
That's so
recreate this
cool.
piece. And she didn't know which. She has 3 brothers and
Yep.
a sister, and she didn't know who ended
Who
up
broke
with
it.
who broke it, what happened
Yeah.
to it. But she said, I miss this piece so much. And there is something that is truly magical about the lighting effect on these nostalgic trees.
Yeah.
And if you remember it from growing up, you remember how each bulb pops with such glorious color. It is truly gem-like.
And you get to make a choice. They've been able to duplicate what we remembered, and that's available. That's a 14-inch height. But then they went an extra step and did something that had not been done. And they did little miniatures.
This was so fun.
When you were a little kid, to have this.
As a nightlight
Yeah,
for
on your
for
bedside
Christmas.
table.
Oh, can you imagine going to Grandma and Grandpa's and having this
Your
as
own
a
little tree.
a little tree in their room?
I like that.
It just is such a fun little piece that you could really put anywhere, the miniature, and it comes with the gift box. So
Nice.
maybe you have a place where you want to put it in your house, or maybe you want to get the grandkids all started on this tradition.
Yep.
If you're lucky enough to still have your original piece, bless you, first of
Oh,
all.
I agree.
And there are, this is one of those pieces, Dan, and we've talked about this. We make a lot of products that do things at Mr. Christmas, but this is one product that we've made that makes people feel
Yep.
something. And so every person who I encounter with this piece says,
I
and
remember.
remember it.
Yeah,
It brings
yeah.
me back. And that is such a special part of the Christmas decorating tradition.
There's so many of us that went through that same emotion of, I remember it,
And
where
where
did it
is it?
go? We've had over 100,000 QVC customers who have purchased these. 100,000. It's $31.46 for the great big 14-inch, exact same scale as the one that you remember. Or you can get a set of 2 of the 7-inch
Look how fun those
at
are.
$31.46. We now have them on 2 easy pay payments of $15.73, but they're the only order of the season. Comparable retail value. The big guy goes for about $121.33 if you could have found them. We're at $31.46.
And we designed and engineered
Yeah.
these just for QVC. That's why they're battery operated with the timer. They will last you for the season and season
On one
after
set of batteries,
season.
right?
One season on one set of batteries, and then you will bring it out season after season, and it truly will become a focal point, a centerpiece, the memory-making piece in your home.
I was having a conversation. My daughter, by the way, is brilliant.
Yes.
The girl has a master's degree, just smart as can be. So when you don't have a master's degree and you're talking to your daughter, you have to ask questions that only you know the answer to feel smarter.
And what did you ask?
We had this conversation. I was going, Do you know what a roller skate key is?
A skate key.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the older members of our crew. You remember, right? Do you remember Mr. Coffee machines? She didn't know. I asked her about these Christmas trees, and she goes, I remember them, but I haven't seen them in years.
It's true. It's true. And that's why we brought this back. It is such an important piece. I mean, I wanted to make my mother happy. That's true. But I also, there are so many families for whom this piece was either broken or maybe one son or daughter it was handed down to one person and
so
then
many
other
of them
siblings
were made
want
by
it.
somebody in the family.
And
this was like
such a part of the meaning.
ceramics classes were huge in the 60s. Okay? We didn't have cell phones, we had nothing else to do. So people would go to ceramics classes. Pardon me, and this would be the Christmas project.
Yep. And look at this, you would
I
but you would
love the
have to
little guys.
painstakingly glue in each piece, each of the bulbs.
Yep.
All of the, look at all of the shine on that glaze. It is just reflects so beautifully. And again, you get the gift boxes. So if you want to continue the tradition in your family, if you're going to visit family,
make mom smile again.
Oh my gosh. Or you know, if you're going to see somebody who maybe can't decorate for the Christmas the way that they used to, this one piece captures all of the memory, all of those cherished memories, all of that sort of nostalgia in one simple piece.
And I love that you made some improvements. Now with the LED lighting, it's very cool to the touch. We all remember how hot the other ones used to get when we were little kids. New and improved are two important words in American marketing, but it looks just like the one we remember.
That was so important to us. We've got the candy colored bulbs that are really, were like the originals. Each bulb is faceted. We've got all of that glowing light. It was so important to us to recapture that.
And you did it perfectly. Sally is on our phone line. Sally, where are you calling from? Where is home for you?
I'm from Union, Missouri. I'm about 35 miles west of St. Louis.
Okay.
On Highway 44.
So you're out in the St. Louis area. I grew up in Indianapolis. Leslie, she's an East Coast girl, and we all remember the same Christmas trees.
Oh yes. My one of my late sister-in-laws did the ceramic thing, and she made one for my mother, which was about 30 inches tall.
Oh wow.
And I actually still have that.
Okay.
But I bought the white ones this time, the small white ones.
Oh, Sally, I love that idea because you'll be able to layer it in with that original piece, and I cannot wait for that.
Well, I got them before when they were the special of the day.
Yeah, that was back in July, Christmas in July.
They're beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Oh, thanks. Okay, I love it. You already have, so you've already got them out, and how do they sit next to the original?
Well, I haven't tried that yet. The original is still in the package.
And well, that is going to look so beautiful. And because we've been talking about doing almost like a little forest that you'll be able to create with the trees and the light. That's going to be beautiful.
Yes, Dan, you and Pat, I've watched you guys far too long.
She is the best. She has been my best buddy.
I would send you that tree, Dan, if I thought I could get it there in one piece. Anyway.
You're very, very kind. Pat and I will be working together a lot more as we get closer and closer to the holidays.
Good.
And she's been my best friend for almost 28 years.
I know. Awesome. You guys look like you're 12.
Well, I act like I am. That's all I can do. You can only be young once, but you can always be immature.
Yes.
It's a good slogan.
Thank you.
Sally, enjoy your holiday. I know it's August, but enjoy. Thank you for letting us say hello to you.
Oh, I love everything QVC does. Thank you.
Thank you.
Be well. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This is the feel-good product. And it doesn't have to be somebody old enough to remember. You could start a brand new family tradition. I've got a granddaughter who's a year old. She doesn't remember the old tree. She doesn't remember yesterday.
I'm getting one for each of my kids. I don't want to have anybody fighting over these
That's
however many years from now.
Yeah, good point.
Each one is going to have one when they start their own Christmas traditions. They will be able to put one in their own home. The only question is really white or green, and they truly are magical. There you can see the glow in the bulbs. There you can see all of the detail in all of the boughs and the beautiful richness of the glaze. And then, of course, battery operated, so you will be able to decorate with this anywhere. You are no longer tethered to that outlet.
And with the timer. Now, by the way, this is the only order of the season, and already over 100,000 of them spoken for, another 1,000 just this morning. If you wait, we may not have them at Christmas, which means it'll be the task of trying to find them again.
Very difficult.
They're here. They're here right now in that beautiful white or that classic Christmas green. I struggle with colors, but I had people say it's exactly the same color as I remembered.
Right.
It's perfect.
It is the vintage green. It's got a little bit of blue in it, and that's how you remember. If you remember and take this back and sit it next to your old tree, you'll see that it had that sort of bluishy, slight bluish hue to it, like a real Christmas tree.
When your mom saw this for the first time,
oh my gosh, she bought 5.
That's funny. Christmas is about reliving your youth every day. And that's what this does. I think it's one of the coolest pieces. When are you coming back? Are you going to be on later
back
today?
This afternoon. Yes.
Wonderful.
Oh, 11 o'clock actually.
11 o'clock with Carolyn?
Yes.
Good.
Sorry.
We've still got more.
Morning.
I'm going to take you outside. We're going to do some decorating outside.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. Our today's special value, over 90,000 sets have been ordered